think story and human characters are universal in any language. If you get the story right and you create characters that people can empathize with, that they can identify with, that they can root for, then it'll work in any culture, in any language, in any country. If you look at all the best TV shows from around the world, I mean, look at Game of Thrones. It is set in a world that doesn't exist, but because the story is so powerful, because we really care for those wonderful characters, we accept it, we get into it. And I think that is the secret, is just make sure that the story is incredibly enthralling and exciting, and the rest doesn't really matter. The South African nuance, the South African situation, I think, comes through in the storytelling. I think it's very easy for foreign audiences to get into that, but the story is universal. I mean, there's a big threat against people, and there are real interesting characters that try to save innocence from damage. And I think that's a universal story that anybody can enjoy. Yeah, Lemmer has been in several of my books, and is also, funnily enough, one of the characters that women like most, which I always find interesting, because he's a very complicated man, and he's a man who tends to like violence. So I always find that a little disconcerting. But he's one of the favorite characters. I always, when I write a Benny Griessel novel, then I have a lot of emails, but when is Lemmer coming back? I would love to see Lemmer again. We are working on potential future projects. I think the talent just brought life to every character. We spent a lot of time, we cast our net very wide for the casting. We auditioned and called people back. Sometimes there were 2 or 3 very strong candidates for one role, and we had to think very carefully. But I think we got it spot on. The performances are just superb. I mean, it's world class. I'm so proud of our talent. I think we can compete with the best out there. We hope that we've set the bar. I really think there's a lot of production value. I think this is a production that is slick in terms of the best that comes in this genre internationally. For me, the money shots, the action scenes were always going to be the ones that was going to determine the success, and I think they are really great. We hope that we will inspire other people to come up with similar stories of that is universal and is exciting, and maybe, you know, we've started something that can only get bigger and better.